President Biden has been making moves to safeguard issues that Democrats hold dear from the incoming Trump administration.
Biden blocked offshore drilling across a number of coasts and announced $500 million in Ukraine aid this month.
In 2024, the president issued a rule making it harder to fire federal workers, a protection from Elon Musk and Vivek's Doge, apparently, and now another lucky group will be getting the president's generous helping hand.
If you're one of the about 2,000 grizzly bears in 4 lucky Rocky Mountain states, you're in the clear.
Biden administration has decided to keep endangered species protections for these grizzly bears.
Now, ranchers who encounter bears outside the protection zones can shoot the bears if they attack the ranchers' livestock.
Some Republicans are speaking out against this. House Committee on Natural Resources Chairman Bruce Westerman said in a statement, "The only reasonable announcement by the USFWS today would have been a total delisting of the grizzly bears in these ecosystems. USFWS is blatantly ignoring science in their decision by hiding behind bureaucratic red tape. Their decision endangers communities, especially farmers and ranchers, who live under the threat of grizzly bear attacks."
Republican Congresswoman Harriet Hageman wrote on X, "This proves what we have been saying for so long. The ESA has little to do with recovering and protecting endangered species and everything to do with land use control and limiting access to and use of our natural resources." Why do Republicans hate grizzly bears, Robby? An iconic animal in the American history.
I don't think they hate grizzly bears. They hate property rights being trampled by not just the bears themselves, but the heavy hand of the federal government. Look, I don't have much expertise on this subject whatsoever, but I would say that if there is a need...
There's a reason not of a grizzly bear correspondent?
Well, I'm sure we do. I'm sure I could ask one of my coworkers about it, and they would give you a more satisfying answer. But I would say if there is an urgent need to protect the grizzly bears, the way to go about it would be have preferably local lawmakers craft some policy rather than a last-minute dictate from a soon-to-be ousted president declaring it this way. Where's so you have your stand your ground rights against grizzly bear? Like if the bear attacks first, then you can do something. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but
if the bear
what
attacks
do I know?
Livestock or dogs, you can attack. But other than
that,
if bears
attack my dogs, they're going to get killed regardless of what the law says.
All those grizzlies roaming the affluent neighborhoods of Washington.
Well, what do we have? We have deer here everywhere.
They're very lovely. They should be protected too.
No, they should be mowed down indiscriminately. We would be Niall, we would be overrun by deer. It's even worse in my native state of Michigan. There are deer and you are not only allowed but sanctioned. You are encouraged to, under certain circumstances, to kill the deer because they would take over and they become hazards for people on the roads. It's very scary driving roads at night in areas where there's way too many deer. They try to jump across. People die in horrific car accidents because of deer. So there is. Look, I like animals. I am for humane treatment of animals. I have a lot of moral objections to factory farming and all the like. I don't want animals tortured or horrifically mutilated. I am perfectly happy to consider protections for them and protections for endangered species, but animal life itself, protecting it at all costs, is, to my mind, is not humanist. In fact, it's anti-human. And the environmental protection policies for animals have a lot of unintended consequences. This I have read about in my own magazine. You have an environmentally protected, let's say, I don't know, it's a species of bee or something, and you find the beehive for this very sacred bee on your property. The first thing you're going to do is discreetly exterminate all the bees that you can find on your property.
Perhaps you'd inform the government so they can protect the bees.
No, you're right. You're never going to do that because they're going to come in and nationalize your property or do whatever. Yeah. No, you will. It encourages you to murder on site, to take out all these animals because you don't want the feds coming in and telling you what you can do on your own property. So there's a bit of unintended consequences. There are examples of this happening over and over again where because of what the protections will mean, there's a human incentive to then kill the animals.
You're having quite a spectacular day here between the Matt Gaetz segment and now you're a kill Bambi kind of approach to the deer population.
I'm moving further and further to the right with each passing day. What can I say?
So look, here, let me just speak up on behalf of the grizzly bear population. Yeah. The reason that they're protected in the first place was that they were in very serious peril of becoming extinct. In 1975, when this protection was imposed or put into place, there were only 700 to 800 grizzlies in the lower 48, Robby. A sad scenario for us all. Now the population has increased, and some expert quoted in one of the stories about this was saying that the United States has spent somewhere between $30 and $45 million buttressing the grizzly bear population. And we can't just let all that good progress with our grizzly friends fall away and have them fall into endangered status again.
Can't we? No, I don't. You're adopting like the nature is healing, mankind is the disease kind of attitude here. It's like, I think we should use our power for good in the planet and make reasonable accommodations for animals because we like animals and we want to. Again, I don't like torturing animals. I think there should be restrictions on that. I don't think keeping animals or animal populations alive at all costs is a reasonable thing, and environmental activist groups go way too far in that. I mean, can we have designated preserves for them, or like zoos? Zoos are fine and nice, and then you get to see and interact with the grizzly bears, and that's nice. It's better for them than the harshness of the wild.
It's
absolutely better for them.
Grizzly bears are much happier roaming in the wild
no,
than their grizzly bear thing.
That's not true. That's just absolutely not true.
I think in confinement, you would not like to be confined behind a wire and be fed straw.
Because I'm not an animal, I'm a thinking, rationing being. But every animal in the wild, this is a misconception that anti-zoo people have that really bothers me. What animals do in the wild is seek the exact kind of security and protection and accommodation that a zoo or a preserve provides. The wild is not fun. The wild, you watch videos, you can see them of like animals being horrifically torn apart. You know, the zebra and the gazelle getting eaten alive by lions, and like, oh, that's what they like. They're in wild. They're so happy. No, they would love the protections that we afford and offer them to the extent that they can. Is
that a mildly anti-libertarian position?
No, it's not.
Shouldn't you let the animals roam to do as they wish?
The animals don't have free will. They don't have the same level of rights that we do. Okay. They are ours to do with what we will. Now they provide us with enjoyment and learning and education, and so they are a value that should be taken care of. They're a resource. They're not a thinking, rationing being with the same rights that human beings have. They have a limited amount of rights in that they should not be gratuitously tortured and subject to pain because they can feel pain, etc. The more thinking creatures among them deserve even more protection. You know, bugs versus manatee or whatever is a spectrum that we can debate, and we're having really philosophical discussions on Rising today.
We are.
I'm informing the viewers more of my perhaps insane to them viewpoint, but that's my attitude. They don't not want the zoo. Release them into the wild. You know what happens to them? They die painfully.
I think that one of the advantages here is that the grizzly bear population is booming, and thanks to President Biden, it is going to continue to do so, using the powers of big government for good and protecting the bears.
Lions, tigers, bears, oh my indeed. Well, that thankfully does it for us today on Rising. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss any content. And for those of you who like to listen while on the go, we're now available anywhere that you can find podcasts. Does it for us for the week, but Amber Duke will be bringing you Rising Fridays tomorrow. Stay tuned.